Hi! The Oscars are rolling in sometime and India cheers for Priyanka Chopra and Guneet Monga's Anuja. In 1983, Bhanu Athaiya became India's first Oscar winner for Gandhi's costume design. In 2012, she returned her Oscar, fearing it wouldn't be preserved well in India, a decision as historic as her win. Her legacy endures. Hi, I'm Atika Farooqui. You're watching Now Showing, and here are the highlights. OTT networks are a hub for crime thrillers, and Hitesh Bhatia's Dabba Cartel opens our eyes to ordinary women using different services to run a drug cartel, crime and some female camaraderie. A Hungarian Jewish Holocaust survivor lives the American dream. We tell you why Adrien Brody starrer The Brutalist is a top contender at the Oscars. Miracles do happen, as seen in the inspiring story of Superboys of Malegaon. We spoke to director Reema Kagti, producer Zoya Akhtar and the boys about bringing this incredible real-life journey to screen. And from TV to films, MrunalThakur delves into her acting process in our coveted segment, In the Mind of an Actor. And let's start the show. See, I've only managed to watch the first 2 episodes of Netflix's Dabba Cartel. But even in this short span, the show has made quite a strong impression. Directed by Hitesh Bhatia and produced by Farhan Akhtar, the series dives into a gripping narrative centered around 5 middle-class women in Thane in Mumbai who inadvertently get pulled into the drug trade. Right from the opening sequence, Dabba Cartel sets up an intriguing world that blends the mundanity of everyday life with an undercurrent of something much darker. The characters feel grounded and relatable, especially Sheila, played by Shabana Azmi, who carries an air of mystery, and Mala, played by Nimisha Sajayan, whose quiet ambition is already making her stand out. The chemistry between the women, whether it's friendship, conflict or shared aspirations, is one of the strongest aspects of the show. In just 2 episodes, it's clear that Dabba Cartel is fueled by its powerful performances. Nimisha Sajayan, who was phenomenal, just phenomenal in The Great Indian Kitchen, once again brings a natural charm to her role. Shabana Azmi, as expected, commands the screen, and Jyothika's restrained yet impactful presence adds depth. Jishu Sen-Gupta's character, though not entirely fleshed out yet, hints at an intriguing power play in the episodes to come. While the premise is compelling, the pacing in the first 2 episodes is slightly uneven. The show takes its time setting up the world and characters, which is understandable, but I'm hoping for the tension to ramp up as the plot progresses. With only 2 episodes in, Dabba Cartel already feels like a show that could get addictive. The mix of crime, ambition and female camaraderie is engaging, and I'm eager to see where the story leads. Whether it leans into high-stakes, thrill or deeper emotional conflicts remains to be seen, but for now, I'm definitely invested. And now let's talk about the Oscars and The Brutalist, that is released in India this Friday and is set to be a top contender at the Oscars with 10 nominations. Before we talk about the film, do you recall how Adrien Brody played a World War II survivor in Roman Polanski's film The Pianist? He went on to win the Oscar for Best Actor. Can Brody win his 2nd Best Actor award, this time as The Brutalist? Let's see. Brody Corbett's The Brutalist is an ambitious and visually arresting historical epic that explores art, ambition and survival. Spanning decades, the film follows Adrien Brody, a Hungarian Jewish architect and Holocaust survivor who arrives in post-war America seeking a fresh start. However, his journey is anything but smooth as he navigates the challenges of displacement, patronage and personal loss. At the heart of the film is the protagonist's uneasy relationship with industrialist Harrison Lee Van Buren, Sr., played by Pearce, a wealthy patron whose support comes at a steep cost. As Adrien's character attempts to carve out a space for his modernist architectural vision, he finds himself increasingly trapped by the forces of power and capitalism. Meanwhile, his cousin Attila, who has assimilated into American society, and Attila's wife serve as reminders of the compromises immigrants must make to survive. Corbett, known for his daring storytelling from his past movies, crafts The Brutalist with a stark, imposing visual style that mirrors its themes. The film's cinematography is breathtaking, with one of its most striking shots showing the Statue of Liberty upside down, a powerful reflection of Laszlo's disoriented state. Adrien Brody delivers a career-defining performance, portraying Laszlo's quiet resilience and internal battles with remarkable depth. Guy Pearce is captivating as a manipulative Van Buren, exuding both charm and menace. The supporting cast, including Nivola Laird, Jones and Cassidy, add richness to the narrative, making every relationship in the film feel layered and authentic. Thematically, The Brutalist delves into the tension between artistic integrity and financial dependence. Laszlo's modernist ideals clash with a world that seeks to control and commodify creativity. The film also explores immigration and assimilation, showing how survival often demands painful compromises. At 3 hours and 20 minutes, the film is long but never overstays its welcome though. Every scene is meticulously crafted, drawing the viewer deeper into Laszlo's world. The pacing is deliberate, allowing the weight of history, ambition and betrayal to unfold naturally. The Brutalist is not an easy watch, but it is a deeply rewarding one. Corbett has crafted a film that is both intellectually rigorous and emotionally powerful. It stands as one of the most compelling films and Oscar nominees of this year. Go for it, go for it, go for it. And now, when opportunities don't come, you create them. In the early 2000s, handloom worker Nasir Sheikh, with just Rs 12,000, dared to make a feature film. Along with Farooq, Akram and Shafiq, their friends, ordinary workers and unemployed men from Malegaon, a small town in Maharashtra, they pulled off the impossible with Malegaon Ke Sholay. This sparked a humble parallel film industry in Malegaon. Their inspiring journey comes to life in Reema Kagti's Superboys of Malegaon, a beautiful tribute to cinema. The film flows effortlessly with international appeal, featuring natural, underrated performances. This differs from Zoya Akhtar and Reema Kagti's previous works, such as Gully Boy and Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which leaned more towards a little drama. Reema Kagti's direction proves that great films aren't about big budgets, but strong ideas and emotions that truly resonate. I had the pleasure of speaking with Kagti, co-producer Zoya Akhtar, and lead actors Adarsh, Gourav, Shashank, Arora, and Vineet, Kumar, Singh. So I'm very fond of this quote by George Bernard Shaw, and he had said that youth is wasted on the young. Youth is wasted on the young, but not for all. I watched this beautiful film called Superboys of Malegaon. दरअसल एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री थी सुपर मैन ऑफ मालेगांव मेड अबाउट 10 years ago, जिसमें द डायरेक्टर फाइजा अहमद खान had focused on a few very passionate boys from Malegaon who just made movies locally and they were mostly spoofs. 10 साल लगे ये समझने में जोया अख्तर और रीमा कागती को कि ये तो अपने आप में एक फिल्म है. जितना पैशन उन लोगों में था ना, the way industry is moving forward with the advent of AI, जितने भी छोटे बड़े फिल्म मेकर्स हैं उनको तो टूल्स एंड इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं, वेपन्स मिल जाएंगे जस्ट अपनी इमेजिनेशन और अपनी क्रिएटिविटी को फिल्मों में तब्दील करने के लिए. एक इंसान जिसके पास बहुत बड़ा प्रोडक्शन नहीं है लेकिन आइडिया है, उसको एआई मिल जाएगा तो क्या होगा. दैट एंड ऑल्सो टेल मी अबाउट द डे व्हेन यू थॉट वाओ इट्स अ मूवी इन इटसेल्फ.
I think the day I thought, I mean, I saw the documentary, I like everybody that's seen the documentary, I just fell in love with the world, with these people that came together and made this film, and Nasir, who is such a charmer, and at the same time you feel the love for film and the love for cinema, and it's the same as you know. But when I met him, and when I started talking to him, and I started digging a little into his life earlier, that's when I realized this is a film. You know, that his compulsions, his love, his compulsions, and his complete an absolute disregard for what the world has handed him.
Yeah.
You know, and I find that very inspiring. Like, he has not waited for anyone's permission, anyone to validate him, anyone to give a handout to him. He has not waited. I like movies. I'm going to make movies. What is the camera I can afford? Who are the actors I have? Let's do it. And today, the mainstream Hindi cinema that he has spoofed is making a film on him, and is inspired by him. And that to me is, it's super inspirational.
Yeah. And Reema, you have directed the film. I think it is for the first time or what? Ki aap, she's producing, you are directing, and neither of you has written or written much. I mean, officially the screenplay. Varun Grover is the one who's credited for it. And I must tell you, ये film देख के एहसास होता है एक फिर से कि on the big screen, less is more.
I had a very lifelike script to bounce off, and full credit to Varun. He's done a wonderful job. And you know, मेरे लिए I'm very comfortable with these small town spaces because I, you know, that was my origin also. So I kind
Where
of.
are you from?
Assam.
Okay.
So I was, you know, I grew up in a small town called Digboy that had only 2 theaters, and you know, there is a love for Hindi films. And there was a, you know, Nasir and I being from the same generation, there were also similar influences. He was crazy about Mr. Bachchan, so was I. Bruce Lee is a big one for both of us. So there were many similarities. And what struck me about Nasir was that, you know, he made films just for the love of making films. He didn't set out to do anything. It's just an offshoot ki he ended up creating an entire parallel video film universe, you know. And apart from, even if you took out the filmmaking from the story, it's still so inspirational. You know, if you, since you've seen the film, it has so many layers that I think speak to such a wide audience.
Yes. Nasir Sheikh, who is the man जिस पे पूरी कहानी बनी हुई है, उनको play करते हैं आदर्श. Adarsh, how to get into the body of it, the mind of the character. मुझे लगा ये चैलेंज रहा होगा.
चैलेंज ये जरूर होता है जब आप एक जीता जागता इंसान को आपके ऊपर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि आपको प्ले करना है. बट आई थिंक वेरी इनिशियली ओनली रीमा told me that the attempt is not to mimic Nasir but to actually understand his spirit and his soul and his intention. तो मेरा फोकस उसी पे था. और कुछ ऐसी चीजें जो नासिर भाई करते हैं, you know, there are certain hand gestures. नासिर भाई अपने हाथ को बहुत यूज करते हैं जब वो बात करते हैं. तो जितने उनकी मुंह चलती है उससे ज़्यादा उनकी हाथ चलती है उसी स्पीड पे. तो ये सब कुछ ऑब्जर्वेशंस थी उनके बाहर, उनके ऊपर जो एकदम सामने से दिख रही थी मुझे. पर उसके अलावा मैंने ये सोचा कि उनके साथ जितना समय बिताया जा सके उतना हेल्प होगा मुझे. सो आई वेंट टू मालेगांव, एक्चुअली स्टेड विद हिम फॉर अ कपल ऑफ वीक्स. वी मेड अ फिल्म टुगेदर दैट नासिर डायरेक्टेड आफ्टर मेनी इयर्स. सो ऑल ऑफ दैट हैपेंड.
You made a film together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So before we shot for our film, I had an idea and I told Nasir कि why don't you make a film, because it had been a few years since he had made a film. So उन्होंने एक फिल्म बनाई जिसको मैंने प्रोड्यूस किया, मैंने एडी किया, मैंने उसकी डॉक्यूमेंट्री अपनी बनाई है जो भी मैं एडिट कर रहा हूँ. तो there was a lot going on, but yeah, I think, and there are so many interesting things about Nasir also, right? Like, he started out as an editor. He used to put together clips of like different martial art films ताकि बीच की जो dramatic parts है जिनको जिस पे लोग शायद उस टाइम उतना engage नहीं करते वीडियो पार्ट्स में, वो skip कर देते थे और सीधा back to back action चल रहे. तो it's such an interesting mind to just sit and analyze and, you know, talk to. And I was very lucky that I got to do it with him.
और इसमें एक जो सीन है आपके और आदर्श के बीच में, जहाँ दोनों के बीच लड़ाई हो जाती है और वो लड़ाई उसूलों की होती है. वो कहता है राइटर बाप है और डायरेक्टर कहता है कि कॉमर्स भी, इश्तिहार जो है वो भी बहुत ज़रूरी होते हैं. उस सीन के, उस दिन के बारे में बताइए.
मुझे लगता है ये दो दोस्त आजू बाजू में बैठे हैं, इन्होंने ऐसी लड़ाइयाँ कभी की होंगी जो निखर के आई है स्क्रीन पे, क्योंकि मैं तो आदर्श को पहली बार मिला था इस फिल्म में. तो कहा जाता है ना, रियल लाइफ से कुछ चीजें आती हैं.
ऐसी लड़ाई आप दोनों के बीच में हुई है कभी?
बहुत.
हाँ, बहुत. जब हम लोग जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा लिख रहे थे तो नेबर्स ने हनी आंटी को फोन किया और बोला, हनी घर पे सब ठीक है? बहुत लाउड वॉइसेस आ रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम लोग एक दूसरे पे चिल्ला रहे थे.
ओके, ऑलराइट. जोया, राइटर बाप होता है ये तो हम जानते हैं कि आप ये यकीन करती हैं. और आपके बाप साहब जावेद साहब इस आइडियोलॉजी के लिए कि राइटर बहुत ज़रूरी होता है एक प्रोडक्शन में, उनकी इतनी प्यारी हीरोइक स्टोरीज हैं कि उन्होंने भाई किसी डायरेक्टर को बोला कि पहले स्क्रिप्ट मैं आपको बाद में दिखाऊंगा, पहले आप बोलिए इस रकम के लिए आप तैयार हैं कि नहीं. That just shows the conviction a writer has over his work.
In the middle, it had gotten very bad. I think it's picking up and getting better. I think the Screenwriters Association, SWA, has done a lot of very good work. They've come together and they're really putting down certain templates that writers can follow and be protected by. I think streaming has also helped because that is a writer's medium because it's long form. And most of those writers are showrunners, and people are reacting to those to that work, and they are recognizing writing. But you know, there's a long way to go until we don't realize that if you don't have a strong foundation, everything is shaky. You know, you can get away sometimes. You know, maybe with one hit song or star power or something, but eventually for something to last and to have resonance over decades, you need a foundation, and that foundation comes only from the writing.
That's true.
It comes only from the story. It comes only from characters. We go back. What are the films you repeat watch?
Yeah.
You repeat watch films where the character stayed with you, where where the conflict stayed with you. Those are the films you go back to and watch. So as long as people realize that, I mean, it'll get. Our films will get better.
But producers पूछते हैं writer कौन है ये बताओ. Have we come to that space?
I mean, definitely producers are. I mean, every time I meet a producer, they say there are not enough writers.
Okay.
Where are the writers? But they will nurture. They are the ones that have to nurture the writers.
Yeah.
You know, they have to pay people enough so that they don't have to do too many jobs to run their homes. Where they can focus, they can take that time out and only work on your script. So for that, they need to be compensated. So I think it's slowly happening, and I hope it gets better.
Yeah. And Shashank, there was this last shot on you where you had just come out of a disease, your body was not looking very attractive. Just the expression you gave and the glance between Nasir and Shafiq's character was the climax of the film. I was stunned to see the emotional resonance and the power of that scene. The expression you gave, how he received, how both of you looked. Tell me, एक actor को कब ये लगता है that I'm doing a good job, I have arrived, I'm getting what I wanted out of life?
I think that's death for any artist. Huh? If you're satisfied and you say, मैंने बहुत अच्छा काम किया and you know इससे बेहतर नहीं हो सकता था, फिर क्या point? Phil, I think you're taking yourself too seriously, maybe, or maybe you're 100 years old and you've seen the whole world. I'm not at that stage right now. I'm not as experienced right now to be able to say, wow, I feel happy when when the director says, hey, this worked. When someone likes something where I feel or resonate with the character, I feel happy. But I honestly don't think there's a moment where I'm like, this, यही करना था और हो गया. I think घर जाते हो तुम और 10 regret होती हैं और 10 खुशियाँ भी होती हैं. And that one moment you're talking about is the work of 500 people over a period of 2 years to reach that one moment, which thankfully worked for you. But thank you for saying that. It means a lot that you've said that. And hopefully I'll keep trying to get better and more real, or and completely forget the sense of wanting to look good, because I think it's very boring when actors want to look good, and
yeah, it is.
You know, it's very
You're
boring.
right.
Like,
That's
you
what
don't
I
want to see
was
people just
saying.
want to look good.
Exactly.
Right? So I try more and more to just sit with my finger in the nose in front of the camera and be like, क्या बड़ी बात है? You know,
God, you didn't do that.
this is how the climax sort of just ended for a whole thing. But it's about inhibition and losing it. If you love telling your stories, then you'll stop caring कि मेरा हाथ किधर है, मेरे बाल कैसे हैं.
exactly.
वो थोड़ा that's someone else's job.
Yeah.
उस सीन के बारे में एक चीज जिस पे बात नहीं हुई, रीमा, दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट एक्सपीरियंस. काफ़ी समय से काम कर रहा हूँ. फैंटम पे शूट हो रहा था, बिकॉज मैंने अभी तक काम नहीं किया ऐसा. फैंटम पे शूट हो रहा था बिकॉज वो जो कुछ निकल के आ रहा है ना, उसके पीछे जिन लोगों ने सोचा है वो बहुत बड़े हिस्सेदार हैं कि वो पता नहीं कितने फ्रेम पर सेकंड पे वो शूट हो रहा था.
Yeah, you should explain what Phantom is, people.
It's an extreme high-speed camera. You know, and I took the call.
It's 500 frames, I think.
And
You
in
can go
night,
even higher.
Even higher.
But I mean, and it's difficult to shoot because you need a lot of light and all of that. But I just decided to go with that because you know, I wanted this extremely larger than life quality about the climax.
Yeah.
जो आप बोल रहे हैं, you've got a film and it's ending on. If you see the climax, there's very little drama, but it
Yeah.
really kind of
there
evokes
is
a lot
drama.
of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why the Phantom.
या और जब लाइट जलती थी ना उसकी तो ऐसा लगता था छोटा सूरज मालेगांव में उतर आया है इतनी लाइट
जितने आंसू थे सब एक बार में सूख जाते थे.
दिस वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम मतलब ये
Yeah.
एक्सपीरियंस कभी नहीं किया था एंड थैंक यू फॉर दैट कि वो कभी पता ही नहीं था मैं जाके पूछता था ये क्या है इतनी लाइट क्यों चाहिए
Yeah.
तो वो सीन के पीछे एक मैजिक ये भी है
और उससे बड़ा मैजिक ये है कि जावेद साहब has written the lyrics
Yeah.
of the
Bande.
film. कहाँ है जावेद साहब? कहाँ है इस Is he at home?
हवाओं में है वो
Okay. What an amazing movie of inspiration. I look forward to watching it on the big screen and all the best for all.
Thank
of
you
us.
so
थैंक
much.
यू थैंक यू सो मच
And now moving on. MrunalThakur is an interesting actress from Love Sonia, where she literally surprised all with her early performance to her recent Sita Ramam and Hi Nana. There are shades to her that surprised to Hindi audiences and Telugu viewers alike. Here is our special segment in the mind of an actor focused on her. What's her world of acting? How much is she rehearsed? How much is she free-flowing? Here she goes.
Yes, I learned from Vidur sir creating characters. When I'm listening to the character, the film, the screenplay and the story, or if I'm reading it, I like reading it in one go or listening it in one go so that I'm not distracted, and it's also I notice my own body language, if I'm feeling cold, but at the same time I still want to hear the story. If my if my bladder is full and I still want to listen to the story, that means that's how interested I am to know this. I'm sitting on the edge of the seat, and sometimes I also ask the director, why me? And the answers would always make you feel good. Oh my God, time, I think जितना वक्त मिले उतना कम है. Preparation till the time you're on set, till the time you start rolling for it, at least a week, you start rolling and you still feel like nerve-wracking because this is for the first time you are entering into a universe of this new character that I'm playing. So the time is never enough, चाहे वो कितने भी साल महीने लग जाए. But what is really nice is I like to read my scenes but not learn my dialogues to an extent where I become monotonous. Because what happens is the pauses, when the director wants those pauses and pregnant pauses especially to be precise, फिर वो नहीं आता है. So I just learn my situation that I am in, that particular scene requires me to, and the director's brief, it just changes everything. I like to be spontaneous. There are two things I want to do on a movie set. I like to listen to music because music for me is an instant medicine. I have special songs designated to particular scenes because whenever I perform that scene and you play that song and it's so aligned that it just brings out your emotions. If you're not going through a heartbreak, you're still feeling it. That's the power of music. The second one is when it's a tough scene. For example, when I played Love Sonia, I tried to lock myself in the vanity and just feel it, but I realized that it would take a lot of toll on my mental health. So what I do is, it's important to disconnect as well, and it's very, very important to leave your characters on set when you come back home. And there's always one thing that I do on set, or I tell my co-actors and my director way in advance is it okay if I do one take for love? Because that's where the magic happens. Oh, I love to travel. I love to be in the nature. And the best time where I can think is when I'm swimming, because I'm just by myself and I can hear my thoughts. And I like to study the sun signs because every sun sign has different characteristics. If Sita is a Leo, Yashna could be a Gemini or a Capricorn. I mean, these are the qualities that these are the things that I do. Whenever I am home, I start reading the Premchand ki Laghu Kathaएं because there's so much to read, and there's so much to learn. Zaban saaf hoti hai, and short stories, so that even if you're not much of a reader, you enjoy. It's a quick read. इरफान सर, क्योंकि लाइनें आपकी ना भी हो तो आप उसे रिएक्ट कैसे कर रहे हैं, दैट इज़ वे मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. तब्बू मैम, बिकॉज जिस एफर्टलेसनेस से वो डायलॉग्स डिलीवर करती है, एंड समटाइम्स वी फॉरगेट टू ब्रीद और वी फॉरगेट टू गल्प आवर सलाइवा, बट द वे शी डज इट is just so beautiful. And third is Rani ma'am. I love the way she plays with her eyes. I watch the scenes over and over again, क्योंकि जो चीज़ आप बोल, ज़रूरी नहीं कि सारी चीज़ आप शब्दों में बयां करें. Sometimes it's just the eyes that you play with. Maybe you look into the left eye, you look in the right eye, you look at the lips, maybe the nose, and that's what the game is all about. It's the eye game, yeah.
And we've come to the end of this show. Raj Kapoor once attended a film premiere where a reporter asked him, "Why do your films always feature a tramp-like hero struggling against the world?" With a smile, he replied, "Because every common man is a hero in his own story." Inspired by Charlie Chaplin's iconic Tramp, Kapoor infused his characters with innocence, resilience, and humor, earning him the title of the showman of Indian cinema. For those interested in delving deeper into Raj Kapoor's life and legacy, there is a play called Dastan-e-Raj Kapoor, written by Sipten Shahidi, directed by Mahmood Farooqui, offers a captivating portrayal. थिएटर की दुनिया में कमाल कर रहा है. I saw it, सोचा आपको भी बता दूं. गाते रहिए तब तक. आवारा हूँ या गर्दिश में हूँ, आसमान का तारा हूँ, आवारा हूँ. Goodbye.